Just do 2 or 3. Okay, those who've got pens are doing it, those who are interested in doing it, those who are falling asleep, we'll find out what they missed later. Okay, have you done a couple? Couple more? Okay. So the point we're trying to find out here is whether your primings are so subconscious you can't retrieve them, or whether you can actually retrieve them. In some cases, I suspect the answer will be yes, and in some cases, I'm sure it will be no. Okay, right. Let me just pick out 2 that I'd like you to look at. Take first it was at first glance. Would everybody do those 3, in addition to what you've already done? Because they're interesting ones to me and Matt, and probably no one else in the world. Okay, right. These are the answers then. So, government yesterday announced is primed heavily for text initial and occurs in the first part of the sentence. At first glance, is that just notice something curious here. At first glance, is text initial, not paragraph initial. You would think, perhaps, that it would be something that would occur in the body, and it occurs at the beginning. It was almost, is non-initial, and occurs at the beginning. According to her, is very strongly text initial, and occurs in the second half. A third hasn't got any special relationship with either text initial or non-initial, but avoids paragraph initial, will not be likely to occur in a paragraph initial sentence. Move, on the other hand, is a paragraph initial. In a move is both text initial and paragraph initial. Such a move, for very obvious reasons, because it's anaphoric, avoids text initial. But look at these ones, interestingly. First is both paragraph initial and text initial. But first it was is text initial only. Every single instant of first it was. It's actually a kind of little idiom. First it was the Asian flu, then it was the foot-and-mouth disease, and now it's used as a kind of rhetorical trick at the beginning of text. It only occurs in text initial position. And when that says there that it's in the first half, it's always the first 3 words. At first, on the other hand, is a paragraph initial. So what are the pedagogical implications? Well, firstly, there's more to lexis than we think. We used to think of just words and we slotted them into grammatical slots. We've thrown that idea away a long time ago, except for gender grammarians, but they're sad. Secondly, we then went to with people, brilliant people like John Sinclair and before him Firth, to recognition that words collocate, and there were collocations. And dictionaries now routinely and with great skill identify collocations. And then we realised that actually there were grammatical patterns that occur in. So you get things like pattern grammar, the Hudson and Francis book, and my own work on lexical priming, and Sinclair's work on lexical items, indicating grammatical patterning. But now what we're saying is that lexis has also got a textual dimension. It's actually got many other dimensions than what I've just mentioned. And that learning a word includes learning its characteristic textual positioning in particular genres. And of course what I've been showing you, and Matt has been showing you, is in the particular genre of news stories. If we take academic writing, which we're going to do next, it's actually going to be different items. But things like recent research has shown, recent, that is a word that is, I assure you, textually primed for academic writing. And there's lots of other subtypes. Secondly, if you don't get them, if you don't actually get the right textual position, then it's going to read awkwardly. However, brilliantly, it's worded in other ways. Secondly, fabricated texts are unlikely to preserve the natural textual positionings. So it's yet another argument for not using anything other than authentic text. And clearly, authentic text is the only way you're going to naturally prime your learners. So the more you can expose and encourage your learners to listen and read, and just be primed by what they're encountering, then the better. I know it's a controversial figure, and I know that many people regard him as a hate figure, but Stephen Krashen's view does seem to be compatible, that you actually expose people to language slightly beyond the comfortable level of competence. And that will then prime people new. If you expose people, of course, to learners to less to material they're very comfortable with, it will still have a valuable effect because it will actually reinforce existing findings. And thirdly, textual colligation is where discourse analysis and dictionaries meet. And the next stage of work is going to have to be, on the one hand, getting the dictionaries deeper and richer in the kind of areas that are localized, but we're going to need a new kind of discourse analysis that takes account of not only where things are positioned, but why they're positioned there. And that, of course, is a whole other talk. Matt and I didn't have time to do that. Thank you.